This slide introduces our comprehensive course on server-side request forgery, commonly abbreviated as SSRF. SSRF is a type of vulnerability that affects server-side applications. Attackers can exploit SSRF to make the server perform unauthorized HTTP requests to arbitrary domains. This often leads to unauthorized disclosure and manipulation of internal services and data, thereby posing significant security risks. In this course, we'll delve into the specifics of SSRF, how it operates, its implications, and best practices for mitigating these risks. Server-Side Request Forgery, or SSRF, is a significant web security vulnerability categorized under CWE 918. This vulnerability allows attackers to compel a server-side application to send HTTP requests to an arbitrary domain, which can be a formidable risk in terms of data exposure and internal service exploitation. Essentially, by exploiting SSRF, malicious actors can access internal services and sensitive data that are typically safeguarded by network controls, such as firewalls and VPNs. Let's delve into why SSRF, or server-side request forgery, is particularly important to understand. SSRF vulnerabilities are highly relevant because they are commonly found in web applications that need to fetch data from external sources. This means that even a web application that you perceive as secure could potentially have this vulnerability if it interacts with external APIs or services. One crucial aspect that makes SSRF so dangerous is its ability to bypass firewalls, VPNs, and other network segmentation controls. Because the request originates from a trusted server rather than directly from an external source, it often can sneak past these security measures without detection. Understanding the significance of SSRF is essential for recognizing the potential security risks it poses and the necessity of implementing robust defensive measures to protect your applications. When identifying server-side request forgery (SSRF) vulnerabilities, there are a couple of clear symptoms to look out for. One major indicator is unexpected outbound HTTP requests originating from your server. These outbound requests can hint at unauthorized attempts to access internal resources or external services hidden behind your own network. Another key symptom is discrepancies in server logs. These discrepancies may appear as unauthorized access attempts, where the server's logs show unexpected activity that deviates from normal operations. Careful log analysis can often reveal these irregular patterns, providing critical insights into potential SSRF attacks. By understanding these symptoms, you can better protect your applications from the risks posed by SSRF vulnerabilities. Here we see two notable real-world examples of SSRF vulnerabilities. The first example, CVE 2021-T6855, involves SSRF in a mail server. This vulnerability was exploited to gain access to internal endpoints, highlighting how such flaws can serve as entry points for further attacks within an organization's network. The second example, CVE 2021-21973, details an SSRF vulnerability in a cloud platform. This was used to pivot an attack on internal systems, demonstrating the risk of SSRF in cloud environments and its potential to compromise numerous internal resources once the initial SSRF exploit is successful. These cases underscore the importance of robust security measures against SSRF vulnerabilities to protect sensitive internal services. In this slide, we will discuss various detection techniques for identifying server-side request forgery (SSRF) vulnerabilities. One of the primary methods is automated static analysis. Tools like Veracode and SonarQube can be utilized to scan your source code for potential vulnerabilities, including SSRF. These tools analyze the codebase without executing it, identifying problematic patterns and configurations that could be exploited. For instance, you can use a command like Veracode static source scanner src folder / to start scanning a specific source code folder using Veracode, which will then provide you with a detailed report of any detected security issues. Effectively leveraging these tools can significantly enhance your ability to detect and mitigate SSRF vulnerabilities before they can be exploited in real-world scenarios. Let's delve into common SSRF exploits. One prevalent attack vector is internal service interaction. For instance, an attacker could use SSRF to interact with an internal service like MongoDB, potentially gaining unauthorized access to data or manipulating the database. Another common exploit is local file disclosure. Attackers can exploit SSRF to access sensitive local files. For example, by using the file/URI scheme, they might retrieve the contents of critical files, such as //passdd. Understanding these examples helps in comprehending the risks posed by SS vulnerabilities and the importance of securing internal and local resources. In the context of server-side request forgery SSRF attacks, let's delve into some exploit scenarios. First, we have Scenario 1, accessing internal metadata. In this example, an attacker can exploit the SSRF vulnerability to fetch internal metadata of the server. Specifically, by making a request to a URL such as http 169.254.1694's latest /metadata/hostname, sensitive data like the hostname of a cloud instance can be retrieved. Next is Scenario 2, internal port scanning. This scenario utilizes SSRF to scan internal ports, which can reveal services running on the internal network. For instance, by requesting a URL like localhost330/, an attacker might determine whether a MySQL database service is running on port 3306. These scenarios highlight how SSRF can be exploited for different purposes, posing significant security risks by allowing unauthorized access to internal systems and sensitive information. Now, let's discuss some key mitigation strategies to prevent the exploitation scenarios we talked about earlier. Firstly, input validation is crucial. We should validate and sanitize all user inputs to ensure that they adhere to the expected formats. One effective approach is to use functions like the example provided here. The isValidURL function checks if the input URL starts with HTTP or HTTPS, thus filtering out potentially harmful inputs. Secondly, output encoding is essential for mitigating injection attacks. By encoding the output, you can prevent malicious content from being interpreted and executed. This adds an additional layer of protection to your application. These steps are fundamental in building a robust security posture to defend against various attack vectors. In this section, we focus on the importance of using allow lists to enhance security. Specifically, we will discuss domain allow listing, which restricts requests to only trusted domains. By doing so, we can significantly mitigate the risks associated with server-side request forgery SSRF vulnerabilities. To implement domain allow listing, you maintain a list of trusted domains that your application is permitted to interact with. For example, you might have an array like this: Python allowed domains equal trusted.com, api.trusted.com. This ensures that all network requests made by your application are confined to these specified domains, reducing the chance of unauthorized access to other systems. This method is a proactive measure to safeguard your application and data from potential SSRF attacks. Ensuring strict adherence to this practice helps maintain a robust security posture. Moving on to practical tools for SSRF prevention, let's discuss Burp Suite. This tool is essential for performing penetration tests specifically aimed at identifying SSRF vulnerabilities in your applications. For instance, you can use Burp Suite's intruder feature to inject various payloads and identify any unauthorized access points within your system. By systematically testing and analyzing potential vulnerabilities, you can proactively strengthen your security measures against SSRF attacks. When it comes to best practices for SSRF prevention, there are a few key actions you should take to secure your web applications. First, it's important to review third-party libraries to ensure they properly handle external data. Libraries can sometimes be a source of vulnerabilities, so thorough review and selection are crucial for minimizing risks. Second, conduct regular security audits. Periodic security assessments help identify new vulnerabilities, ensuring that your security measures stay up to date and effective against emerging threats. Implementing these best practices will bolster your defense against SSRF vulnerabilities by addressing potential weaknesses in both external dependencies and your overall security posture. In conclusion, understanding and identifying server-side request forgery (SSRF) is critical for securing web applications. It's important to employ comprehensive mitigation strategies. This includes performing thorough input validation, ensuring proper output encoding, and using allow lists to restrict permissible URLs. As for the next steps, it is essential to regularly update and patch your software to protect against known vulnerabilities. Additionally, implement continuous security monitoring to stay vigilant against potential threats. This proactive approach will significantly enhance your application's security posture. For those interested in digging deeper into the topic of server-side request forgery, SSRF, and its prevention, here are some valuable references. First, MITRE CWE 918 provides a detailed overview of SSRF vulnerabilities, including potential impacts and mitigation strategies. Next, the OWASP SSRF Prevention Guide is a must-read for any developer or security professional, offering comprehensive best practices for protecting web applications from SSRF attacks. Finally, Vericode's analysis tools offer insights and automated solutions to help identify and remediate SSRF vulnerabilities in your codebase. These resources will equip you with the knowledge and tools necessary to enhance your application's security posture. Thank you for following along with the course. Did you enjoy the content? If so, please leave a like and comment your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more valuable content and share it with your friends and colleagues who might benefit from this information. Your engagement and feedback help us improve and provide even more relevant resources in the future.